Aloha everyone, Chris Pineda here. I want to share a little bit about my peace building journey and kind of what led me to being able to do the things that I get to do today. It's a lot of information, so I'm going to do the best I can to squeeze that into 5 minutes is what I was told. I'm in Salem, Oregon. I'll show you around real quickly. My office here. There's downtown Salem right out the window. I run a leadership institute currently. And I started it about 4 years ago, and the goal is to bring leaders together from all different sectors, nonprofit, government, business, education, faith, community, bring them together. The goal is to be catalysts for transformational change, so to bridge divides, help them solve their own problems. I've been able to write my own curriculum to teach within the Institute. And the goal is that these individuals can go back into their organizations in our community and make a difference. Our community has problems like any other community: poverty, crime, conflict, racial divides, underserved, vulnerable populations. And I cannot solve all of that. We cannot solve all of that, but our community collectively can, is what I believe. And that starts with strong leaders. So that's why we focus on leaders. We believe that they're a key piece in transformational change. I believe that it's centered to my to my research that I'm doing for my PhD. It is kind of where we've put in all of our efforts. So what got me to doing this? To just list off some of the things that I'm able to do, because I was curious when I was in your shoes of what I could do. I get to lead. I get to strategically plan. I get to facilitate. I've mediated several different disputes at all different levels. I've facilitated and taught peace building principles in many different settings all over with many different types of groups. I've written my own curriculum. I'm a podcast host for the Rooted Leadership podcast. I get to do amazing things. Honestly, it's like living a dream a lot of times. And while all of that is incredible, it has been not an easy journey getting here. There's been many times where I've wanted to give up on peace building, really, right? There's been many times where President McKay's vision has become so hard to live that I've wanted to just give up on it and go and get a normal job, if you will, right? There's nothing wrong with normal jobs, but when I was at BYU Hawaii, I felt a deep connection to President McKay's vision, as I'm sure all of you have. I felt responsible for doing and living his vision. And coupled with my desire that my wife and I both share to give our hearts to God, have been the core and at the heart of any good thing that's happened to us. So I cannot sit here and say that all of these things happened on my own accord. They've happened because I have stayed committed to giving my heart to God and living President McKay's vision. I do both of those things imperfectly every day, so don't get me wrong, I struggle. But that commitment that I have had every single day has always been an important piece to everything that I get to do. So a little bit about my journey getting here. Finished at BYU Hawaii. I was a field director there. I got to learn a lot, was involved in some great projects. I left and the real world hit. I realized, man, this is not easy to do peace building. I bounced around very different things. I worked for Arbinger for a little bit. I applied to grad schools. I ultimately decided to go to Creighton in their law school, got a master's in negotiation and conflict resolution. That was amazing. And at the same time, I started working for Arbinger again on their corporate team. And that was such an important decision because everything was fast-tracked. While I was getting my education, I was working full-time. And because I was working at Arbinger, I met the people, the philanthropists that I now get to work with, the individuals that fund everything that I get to do. And it was then that I sold them on, I say sold, there's a lot of details that went into this, but I shared with them what I cared about. They shared with me what they cared about. I told them about President McKay's vision. I shared the sort of things that I would hope that I could do in their community. And we took a risk and I moved my family up here and here we are. So a few things that I would want to share with you to keep in mind. Okay, there's a lot of things that you cannot control, but here's the things you can control. Learn as much as you can, whether that's you getting an education or not. Learn as much as you can, because the more you learn, the more you realize you don't know, and that is so important. So learn everywhere. Second thing, get mentors. Okay, positive mentors are so important. Find mentors that are doing the sort of work and are the sort of people that you want to become, and are doing the sort of things that you want to do. That is so, so important. I would not be here without great mentors in my life, okay? The third thing is always be the hardest worker in the room. There will be no handouts. You will have to work hard in order to get every opportunity that comes your way. That, coupled with a lot of prayer and trust in God, you have to do your part, and your part is working hard, okay? Nobody will see value in you unless you create that value. So you have to invest in yourself, become attractive to people around you. People want to work with you, work for you. They want you to work for them. So build that capacity within yourself to bring something to the table. So all of those things I hope can be helpful. There's a lot more that I could say. I'm happy to connect with any of you. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to chat and tell you a little bit more about my journey. I'm very humbled to be here. I'm so thankful that I've had these opportunities. And mahalo everybody, and good luck.